Hello and welcome to episode 92 of Comics with Stevey D. And I've been organizing. I went and got one of those kitchen racks because I had to keep stacking my comic books and unstacking them to get to ones for the show. Well, here's what it looks like. Kind of. And if I get up close, this row here is Alex Ross covers here. 4 of them are. And I really like the way he does his covers. And the reflections in the armor are just something else. This is probably my favorite Alex Ross right there. Flying past the earth and the moon and toward the sun. Isn't that cool? And then there's an Armor Wars. And I always like this cover where he's smashing through. Alex Ross didn't do the last two. But, so I can get to my books a lot easier now. And down on the second row, I just wanted to start off with some space covers I liked. There's Star Trek. And there's The Crew. And here's a Jack Kirby Wally Wood tribute comic. I really like it. I like the cover. It's got biographies and such. And there's a cool Battlestar Galactica. If I can get her in there. And I like this spacewalking cover. The Last Space Race. So, that is making things a lot easier to organize. And let's start the show. Now, this past couple of weeks I've had my grandkids with me, and Gabriel helped me do the last episode. Charlie's still a little too little. He'd be bouncing off the walls. That's the age he's at right now. But when I was spending time with Gabe, I noticed this is my 7th grade picture right there. You know what they say, here today, gone tomorrow. Well, it looks a lot like my grandson. And that's when I started collecting comics for 20 cents a piece in 1973 and 74. Then I didn't collect comics until I was 40. Let that go. But the show today is kind of special because I went through a bunch of Iron Man books. And I'm just showing you some cool covers, giving you a little information. There we go. All right. I bought the first issue of Iron Man for $35. But that's after going to the same comic book shop for years and years and as being a good customer. So he knew I was collecting them, and he had 3 or 4 of them. I got to pick the one I liked, you know. I should have bought them all if I would have had any sense. Iron Man number 1 from 1968. Cover art by Gene Colan. Inks by Mike Esposito. Story by Archie Goodwin. All that stuff. And here's the famous cover everybody wants. Iron Man number 9 from 1969. Story by Archie Goodwin. Cover art by George Tuska. That's a good cover. You know. And his arch enemy of all times and one of the most underrated supervillains, the Mandrian. This is Iron Man number 10 from 1969. Cover art by George Tuska. Mandrian discovers Iron Man's secret identity. And this is my favorite Mandrian cover because this is showing how powerful he is and how tough Iron Man's got to beat him. They beat each other, really, and then Tony comes out ahead, but only by that much, you know. This is Iron Man number 11 from 1969, George Tuska. All right, moving on. This is the retelling of the origin story from Tales of Suspense. And Iron Man 47 from 1972, cover art by Gil Kane. And now I like this cover, besides retelling the origin story. It's a cover where you get to see a current Iron Man model of the armor and the old one on the same cover. That's kind of neat. And here is the much sought after Iron Man 55. First appearance of Thanos and Drax the Destroyer and a bunch of others. It's got a little chipping here. I bought this before the Avengers movies, way back, about 20, 25 years ago. I paid $70 and I agonized over doing it at the time, but I'm glad I did. But the only thing is, it looks nice, presents good, has a little crease here, but there's a tear right here. But it's only that much, so I don't care. I don't want to upgrade because I'd have to make a loan like a car, you know. All right, here's a favorite cover of Iron Man and Doctor Doom. They go hand in hand many times. Iron Man and Doctor Doom must team up in the future to battle themselves. Iron Man 205. Or 250. All right. Here's the first time that War Machine identifies himself as that. And Jim Rhodes leaves Stark to join the West Coast Avengers. Iron Man 291 from 1993. Cover art by Kevin Hopgood. And here he's fighting the Hulk again. They fight all the time. Iron Man 305 from 1994. Cover art by Kevin Hopgood again. First appearance of the Hulkbuster armors in this one. I think that other one he was fighting a robot Hulk. I got to reread it. All right. And here's the Mandrian again. He's kind of featured in this episode. Iron Man 311 from 1994. Cover art by Tom Morgan. And I just love that cover, man. It's just unmasked by the Mandrian, starring Force Works and War Machine. Okay, but I've shown you nothing but the Mandrian kicking Iron Man's butt throughout this episode. But last but not least, in the hands of the Mandrian, Iron Man 312. There's a cover where Tony Stark is annihilating him. Just the way Iron Man does. And cover art by Tom Morgan. 312. Oh yeah, that's it. Now this next one was confusing. I've read it 2 or 3 times. It's in the Time Slide storyline. And it's a wraparound cover. That's why I'm opening it. And Iron Man's fighting his teenage self. Isn't that cool? And that's what his teenage self looks like on the splash page. Okay. And so, that concludes episode 92 of Comics with Stevey D. I really like my new setup. And up on top, my grandson, he did that hand throwing the dice for me. Another one he did. So, Shout out to Gabriel, my assistant, last episode. So with that, I want to wish everybody happy comic hunting and enjoy yourselves, enjoy your collecting. I enjoy the hunt, and now I'm enjoying making these videos. It's like a hobby. People are so proficient at doing this with super editing and pictures and reels of film from movies and thought bubbles and all that kind of stuff. I'll get to it one day. I just got to this right now, so give me a little time, and because when I get to 100, I'm going to try to make that a special episode, but I haven't figured out what to do yet. So anybody have any suggestions, please give them to me in the comments, and subscribe and like and help me move my channel along. Thank you. Bye-bye.